Parti. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here with us this afternoon. And just a few words to present this webinar, Connect Working World. My name is Marie. I'm working in the PhD Career Center. Briefly, in few words, the PhD Career Center aims is to support the professional careers of doctoral students. We therefore offer different services with one big objective. We do some workshops. We do individual interviews and webinars. Today we are here for a Connect Working World webinar. We are pleased to welcome a special guest from Huawei, and they will be sharing with us their recruiters' opinion on the career opportunities in Huawei for the PhDs. And it's very important to know the recruiter's point of view when you consider applying for a job. This will make your applications more relevant and stand you out from the crowd. So I propose, if you have any questions, please use the chat throughout the webinar to ask your questions. And I will let Veronica introduce all the Huawei team, and I wish you a very good webinar.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madame Boone. Welcome, everyone. I see that we have many participants who joined us today, so I guess this topic is really interesting. And today we would like to introduce the Huawei Technologies France Research Centre. Of course, if you have any questions, we will leave time at the end. If you have any questions during the presentation, you can always send your questions in the chat. And moreover, we will be mentioning some important links and email addresses, and don't worry about this because you will have it on the slides, but we will also post it in the chat. So whatever you need to note, you will have this information available in the chat. And now I would like to introduce our main speaker, our main guest today, Sophie Chollet. Sophie has more than 18 years of experience working in human resource department in IT companies. She became part of the Huawei Research Center team in France in 2018. Huawei has many research centers in France, but Sophie will give you more details. And I just wanted to mention that one of the main research centers is also in Grenoble, in Paris and Grenoble, and she's managing both of them. So Sophie can give you great advice on your career path, but can also answer your question on specific opportunities that you can have in France Research Center or also abroad. So I would like to give a warm welcome to Sophie, and also to mention that we have a few more representatives of Huawei France Research Center team who will be able to answer your questions with regards to job opportunities, international exchange, some competitions that we're running, or any other topics related to your research. Thank you so much, and let's welcome Sophie.
Thank you very much, Veronica, and thank you, Marie, for letting us do our presentation and meet the students today. So like Veronica said, I've been working in HR for a few years with Huawei now, so it is my duty today to introduce you to the company, explain to you some of the opportunities we offer with Huawei on a global level. But first I want to introduce the company to you so you're familiar with us. Of course, you might have heard of us before, you might know about the phones, but really we do more than that. So we are present in over 170 countries throughout the world. We have, to this day, about 197,000 employees in the world. And more than half of them, as you can see, are working for the R&D activity of the company. So I don't know many companies that have that much workforce working for R&D, but it is for sure very important for us. As to our revenue in 2020, which is the latest number we have, we made about 128 billion euros. And we are rated, we are number 85 in Interbrands Best Global Brands in 2021. And also number 44 in Fortune's Global 500 in 2021. Some numbers specifically about R&D, we have over 100,000 active patents across the world in 40,000 different categories by the end of 2020. We published more than 590 journals in conference paper, in high impact channels, and conferences. So we are really present in the R&D world, in telecom mostly, of course. So now just a few numbers and descriptions about what we do. Of course, in R&D, it's not only R&D in China. We have a big presence in Europe. It's very important for us to develop where the talent is. So again, like I said, investment in R&D is very important for Huawei. And in Europe, Huawei is the second biggest investor right after Alphabet, which you might also know as Google. We've been moving up this this chart year after year, so we're very proud to be number 2 now. We focus a lot of our investment in R&D in many different subjects. So the European Research Institute is what we name the whole organization of R&D in Europe. That represents over 1,600 employees, again, only dedicated to R&D, over 400 contractors. And it's important to know that over 80% of our staff is recruited locally, local talents, European talents, and not only, of course, people coming from China. So the company really trusts in the local talents. In Europe, that is 23 R&D centers that we have. So you can see on the map the little orange dots. They're not all there, but most of them are. And I wanted to present you the, of course, different kinds of research we do in Huawei. So there are 3 types of research that we do. Almost, let's say, 30 to 50% of the research we do is business driven. So what it is, it's research that is more short term. It's on a scale of 6 to 18 months of research. And we do that kind of research to really solve technological challenges we receive from our clients. And we do this, of course, mainly internally. We get some help from outside sometimes, but this is the point of this research, is to help our clients and solve quick problems, or problems quickly, should I say. Then most of our research is what we call technology-driven research. That is longer research that can go between 18 months to 7 years. So that's really long-term. And sorry, for that research, we're really looking to propose new solutions to our clients. Of course, we know them and we know what technologies can interest them. So we try to push technologies on them. That's what we did, for example, with 5G when we started the research in 2011. And that's what we start doing now with the research on 6G, now that the 5G was launched. So it is really important for us not to only respond to our clients on their day-to-day or short-term needs, but to really be innovative and propose new ideas for them to, of course, be very competitive and showcase the Huawei products and technologies. So for this, of course, we also use the help of academic specialists, experts, and people from the outside world. We don't only work within Huawei for this type of research. Then finally, the last kind of research I wanted to introduce you to is what we call vision-driven. That's really the breakthroughs in science, breakthroughs in research. So we are talking about research that can last over 10 years. And of course, in this case, there is a big cooperation with the university, with the academic world, because we want to share this research and the result of the research with all our partners, and make the whole scientific community benefit from that kind of research. I'll introduce you to a center we opened recently. I should say, not that recently, it was last year, but a center that is called the Lagrange Institute that is really dedicated in that kind of research. But let's move on, and I'll show you later the kind of the center I'm mentioning. So now let's focus on France specifically. So what does a France Research Center look like? As you can see, we have 5 different research centers in France with different topics. I'll go through them in more details later. Basically, we have in Paris, we have 3 research centers now. We have one that is our main historical research center here in Boulogne-Billancourt, where I'm talking to you from. We have another one in Paris, which is dedicated to the design of products, the colors, the trends, and so on. In Boulogne-Billancourt, we do all our wireless research, we do IOV research, software, lab, we have parallel computing, and so on. Then we have historically also one of the first centers we opened, was the one that we made that we opened in Nice, or in the area. It's specifically in Mougins. They have it's a center of expertise, is how we call it internally, in image processing, for example, and RF technology. And what you might want to know also is that we have our latest lab, the R&D center that we opened in 2020 was a research center in Grenoble that focuses on intelligent interaction sensor software and many other things that I'll discuss later. So out of those 5 research centers, it's about 300 and more than 300 employees. We just passed that to give you a rough idea of the size. We are over 215 people in Boulogne, about 40 people in Grenoble. In Paris, the 2 other centers are about 15 people. And in Nice, we have 35 people working there. Of course, you have to add to that all the consultants, the outside help that we get to progress with our research that are not accounted for here. Also, out of those numbers, of course, we have a lot of PhD students. We have 26 to this day. We have many interns. Intern season is coming for the next 6 months. We'll have a lot of them. And we started to open a couple of years ago also the possibility to do apprenticeship contracts with us for 1, 2, or sometimes 3 years for a master, going to up to master degree. We are a very international company, like I said, not only Chinese, because we have 29 different nationalities to this day in research centers. So it's a very international community. We speak English as a working language. So everybody is welcome to join us, even if they don't speak French. They will be understood, no problem. And since 2013, we have over 300 patents recorded from the different research centers in France. Just another detail to give you a small picture of the kind of employees we have. So more than 70% of our staff has a PhD already, and 28% have master's degree. A lot of those 28%, as you understood, are PhD students that are working and studying in order to get that PhD at the end of the 3 years. So we are really a research center, like an academic research center, but with the difference that we work for industry and not just for the work of art. And like I said earlier, we have over almost 90% of our employees are hired locally. And of course, we welcome our Chinese colleagues who help us on our day-to-day and give us advice and support our research projects. Next, I will give you some more detail, but not so much, because apologies, please. I am not a technical person. I'm not in science, so do not ask me any questions about the science, but I will try to introduce the different topics as much as I can and the different offices. So like I said, we're in Boulogne-Billancourt here with our beautiful offices just over the banks of the Seine River. Our main lab is the algorithm lab, where we really focus on math, let's say, that is applied to wireless communication, wireless technology. We also have a big lab, and I'll mention it later again in the presentation, in AI. We also work on network layer, fundamental research in mathematics, of course. Other subjects are also part of the algorithm lab. We work on software, we work on IOV, which is autonomous vehicles. We have big projects at the moment with China on the subject. We work on machine learning, standardization, of course, security, network security, which is very important to us. Other two big labs that we have in Boulogne-Billancourt are the Optical Communication Technology Lab. That's a lab that was created 3 years ago with the hiring of a very high-end expert. And we've created different departments according to this subject. So we're working on short distance and long haul communication, optical communication, submarine systems, for example, and many other applications for the optical technology. And finally, in Paris, we also have the Data Communication Network Algorithm and Measurement Technology Lab, for short DataCom. They focus on visualization, automation, improvement of the network measurements, AI applied to network, and so on. They have quite a big team at the moment working on many different subjects. So our other research centers in the Paris area, like I said, we have the Design Research Center in Paris that focuses on product design, logos, colors, user experience. So it's a very creative team that we have right in the center of Paris. And not far from it, we have the Lagrange Research Center in Paris. We there focus on fundamental mathematical research, on improving, like I said earlier, the state of the art, working in collaboration with universities, with professors from many different areas that are not standard employees of Huawei. So it's really a place where we try to have this communication and have this new relationships with or improved relationships with universities and all people from the scientific world. Then not far from you is the research center that we have in Grenoble, and they work on intelligent interaction. They work on sensor application innovation, software innovation for devices. We also have a team, sorry, working on embedded software, on also vital sign detection for the wearables, for example. And our team in Mougins, the Nice area, like I said earlier, they work on signal processor, and they are experts on ISP, on airtail design, verification, radio frequency, image improvement. They work with, we have our own photographers also that test the quality of the pictures of the Huawei products. So it's as you can see, very diverse activities we have in our research centers in France. The common point of all of this is, like I mentioned, we try to focus on the local talents. We see what the specific talents are locally, and Huawei really wants to develop an activity where the good universities and renowned academics are. Sorry. So we'll go to the next point of our agenda. So the postdoc opportunity. So I'm very excited to share this with you. It's something completely new that we're doing in Huawei. So what is it exactly? I will explain to you the opportunities that you can have after doing your PhD in university. Basically, Huawei offers postdoc positions abroad. So why would you want to do that with us? Of course, it's to advance your research goals and diversify your skills, prepare yourself for a tenure position in a faculty or in the industry. You would get also to work with leading experts in the field that you are really enjoying or started to do research on. Of course, it will be a great way to expand your publication record and visibility in the community and the scientific world. It can add a good, strong experience to your CV, international one, and expand your professional network. Of course, you'll get to meet a lot of people from Huawei and other universities. And like I said earlier, you'd get to work in a very multicultural environment and very high performing teams. So how could you do that if you want to join us? Of course, you probably have already in mind or want to do something that you pursuing some projects that you already have. If not, you can look for projects to expand your skills as a researcher. Look at the industrial trends, what you think will be promising in the next few years, what interests you, of course. You can also put together a list of potential projects, supervisors or universities you would like to work on. Or just simply have a look on the proposed list of topics that we have in Huawei and that I will present to you just in a moment. Then how, of course, you can propose your topic to the Huawei researchers or Huawei teams, and they can guide you, recommend the best departments for you to work on the subject and the best universities to contact and help you build the project. Then what's exactly a postdoc station in Huawei? What we propose is that to welcome you in one of the offices that we have in China. You can see some of the pictures below of our different research centers in China. And we propose you to work in collaboration with leading universities in China. This is a list there you can see on the screen, like Shanghai University, the University of Science and Technologies, other universities in Beijing or Shenzhen. But of course, that's not the only list. The list is much, much longer. Those are only a few examples. And what we propose is that you do a postdoc with us in Huawei in China with one of those universities. So it's very, I think, a very exciting opportunity for any student that finishes their PhD before they start their permanent career in university or industry. So like I said, earlier, here are some of the topics we have open now. I will not read them all because I don't want you to get too bored, but you can see we have many different subjects in math, optical, mechanics, computer architecture, smart driving, many different subjects. So if you see a little number after the title, it means that we already designated or identified some research topics that we want to work on. We already have negotiations or talks ongoing with universities in China to work on those topics, and we're just looking for candidates to fill those positions. I will just give you a few seconds to look at the list, and I will go to the next slide. So these are some examples of the research topics I showed you in the previous slide. For example, we have research on human-machine function allocation, advanced wireless network architecture. Of course, that's our main, the heart of Huawei. AI-based data center, network optimization, so on and so on. I will not, again, read all the details, but I think you will have this presentation later on made available to you so you can read in more details. Again, those are only a few examples. We have many more positions to fill and to advertise. So don't hesitate in contacting us if you're interested by one of those projects or others. So how do you apply to one of those wonderful postdoc positions, you'll ask me. So first, who can apply? The criteria is that you have to be a researcher and receive your PhD degree between 2019 and this year, 2022, or have sorry, at least had already the successful defense of your thesis. Of course, we're looking for people with excellent academic achievement and integrity, and know that applications are open all year round. We don't just do this for one short period. You can send us your application as soon as you get your degree later on this year, for example. It will not be closed. We have many positions to fill and more to come later. So what do we offer exactly? Of course, we offer the position, the postdoctoral position for 1 or 2 years. They're available in Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Chengdu, Dongguan, all our big research centers. Some of you might have seen them on TV even because they're so big and cutting edge. So exactly like I said, cutting edge research subjects in the industry. You can really work on things that you would not have the opportunity to work on and maybe here in Europe because we are a very large scale company. You will, of course, have access and get mentorship from industrial leaders and from academia, the academic world. And we, of course, give you competitive compensation and benefits. You'll be in an international environment working in English, so don't worry if you don't speak Chinese. We'll support you with the visa and travel arrangements. We'll give you some community support because you will not be there alone. You will be with a lot of other students like you or employees like you who take this opportunity. To be on the safe side, we of course offer as well health insurance and a relocation support for that period of time. So how to apply? If you're interested by one of these positions or others that I didn't mention, but you have an idea or a project in mind, you can send your CV and the topic to the email address that is franceRndTalent@huawei.com. That is how you apply. Then if you're selected, you will get a round of interviews, and then we'll get to give you a contract to sign, and we'll help you with a visa and traveling arrangements. So that's all on this topic, but I think we have some questions or comments. yes, I think we'll be able to share the share the slides. Ilya is asking, what do we mean by excellent academic achievement? Of course, we're asking for great results. If you had very good feedback on your PhD thesis, if you made a lot of publications already, if you won some contests, we are very keen on getting all your academic achievements, all the prizes you might have won during this time at school, anything that can build up your CV and application, you can mention to us. So next topic. Next point, the open positions for PhD candidates and postdocs. You will see very simply on our LinkedIn that we have the link is below, and I think Nika will share it in the chat if you want to have a direct link to our LinkedIn page of Paris Research Centre. We have many openings at the moment, but please know that not all the openings are listed on LinkedIn because we have limitation on the number of ads that we can post. So don't hesitate in applying and sending your CV at the previous email address that I showed you, and I will show you again later. We have many openings, for example, in optical communication at the moment. So if that's something you're interested in or want to work on, or know people that work in this field, please tell them that they can send your CV. We're taking all levels of experience, and we have other positions, but less. But you can please feel free to send us your resume if you're looking for a position after your PhD or after the postdoc that you might be doing at the moment. Any more questions? Yes, no, Anastasia, you're asking if it's mandatory to relocate in China for the postdoc. Yes, the work is in the different R&D centers for those special PhD programs. So next point on the agenda, some career advice, what to do and what to know if you want to apply to a job in Huawei. And that's what I will try to give you a small indication on today. For this, I wanted you to understand the Huawei company culture, our core values. There are 4 of them, and they're quite classic, quite general, nothing too surprising, you'll see. Of course, our number one focus will always be to stay customer-centric. We always want to focus on the client, what they want, how to improve, propose them new solutions. And that is fundamental for us, and that's how we want to grow, is really supporting our clients. Next, we have the value of dedication. It means it's all the work that we put into creating value for our customers, improve our own capabilities, how much you want to help improve yourself and improve the company. Then we have the value of perseverance. It is, of course, the mental and physical actions that we take in front of a problem, in front of so if you are frustrated, it's we always consider in Huawei that you have to persevere. Don't give up, work hard, and you'll be able to achieve. And finally, it goes with it. It's grow by reflection, is how to learn from your mistakes, how to grow, how to improve yourself and learn from your mistakes, but also learn from other people, the great experts we have in the team, with you, around you. It's how we improve ourselves as well, getting inspired by others. So if you are in an interview with Huawei, a great tip is to have in mind those core values for you to understand the culture in Huawei, the working culture, and what people are expecting of a Huawei employee. I think I have more questions. We'll go to the, we'll tackle the recruitment questions at the end. I will keep on giving you some tips and understanding of how Huawei works. So I wanted to share with you the, let's say, the classic path that we have of evolution for researchers in Huawei. If you start, for example, as a research engineer right after your PhD, you can move on to many different steps. Of course, become senior engineer and start managing, leading, at least as a technical lead, when you're a principal engineer. Then you become expert, chief expert, and the very highest you can go to is a fellow, a Huawei fellow. We have probably less than 20%, 20 persons, not 20%, in the world that are Huawei fellows. So they're made a great achievement, and they really made a breakthrough in science, or they did a great contribution for Huawei. So those, of course, is the ultimate goal for any Huawei employee, to become a fellow, but very few are selected. As you can see, there are two different options that you have, and we understand that some people are more comfortable in others than others in management, for example. So we completely understand in Huawei that some people want to stay in the technical world, and some want to touch on some topics of management, managing people, and managing teams on a smaller or bigger scale. So we have two different career paths for those who have different interests. Then I think we'll move to the Q&A discussion. But before, I just wanted to give you just one last opportunity. As you've seen, we have many opportunities in Huawei. One of them is the next challenge that we're going to have from the 15th of June to the 18th of June. It will be, the opening ceremony would be at Vivatech. So I'm giving you here the link for the next challenge. Please know that the topic is not exactly ready yet. So you can save the link for later and check the website again in 3 to 4 weeks. But really save that link if you love challenges, because after this competition, there will be permanent competitions throughout the year on this very website, and you can have a good time sharing sharing information with our Huawei experts, and trying to solve some problems. To get back to that next challenge, know that it will be a teamwork for teams between 1 to 4 people, and we'll have exciting prizes. The first prize, so first team or first individual, will earn a prize of 7,000 euros. The second one will get a prize of 4,000 euros, and the last one will have a prize of 2,000 euros. So and also some other Huawei products will you can win for the following winners. So save this link. I think Veronica will share it in the chat as well, and connect in a few weeks again for the next challenge, and after that for the permanent challenges that we'll have later on. So I think we shall go to the Q&A discussion. So I will get back to the chat. I'm happy to answer them. So Joshua, you asked if we have candidates for earth science, like geology and geophysics, we do concentrate on engineering, IT, telecommunications, our field, and communication, all kinds of communications. So I'm afraid geology or geophysics are not one of our topics.
Sophie, may I comment
of
here?
Course,
as you
please.
said, exactly, it's dear Joshua, it's not the topic in Huawei France Research Centre, but you know that it's a global international company. So in order to evaluate your your profile, you can send the CV in the address that we've posted in the chat window, and I will post it one more time, and then we will share it with other research centers, because there are other research centers who might be working on the specific topics that you're in. So it's just not available in France, but it might be available in other countries.
Yeah,
so
not at least not available in France and Europe, but then I know China works on a lot of different topics that I never heard of. So take your chance and do send your CV, like Veronica said, and we'll try to transfer the best contact and can advise you. Thank you for you see here again the email address to which you can send your CV. Masood, you're asking if it's possible to do the postdoc at one of Huawei's partners in North America and Canada. No, it's not possible at the moment. The positions we have for postdoc is really for our R&D centers in China. Fatma, you can, for the Aesthetic Research Center application, you can send it to us at France R&D Talent. We work with them very closely. We are the HR team also for the Aesthetics Research Center, so we'll be happy to receive your CV and transfer it for any opportunity that they may have. Anastasia, how many and what kind of interviews do you have for research engineer position and computer vision as an example? So you mean how many positions we have? Or how many interviews?
How many interviews?
How many interviews? So our interview cycle process works with a 3-step interview, maybe 4 if you're a young graduate. We have what we call technical interviews that really focus on your abilities, skills, technical skills. Then we have an HR interview that will validate your soft skills, let's say, and how you can integrate the team that you would be working with. And finally, an overall interview that can tackle any topic, and during which you'll meet one of our high-end experts or directors that will validate the opinion of the 2 other interviews. Guillaume, thank you. Which research center work on natural language processing? I don't actually know natural language processing. Out of the blue, I don't know. I don't think we work on that in France, but I can definitely ask my colleagues in other research centers in Europe. So feel free again to send your CV to the France R&D email address Veronica sent, and we'll see if there's a position open for you or in that field. Oh, thank you, Wang Lei. Yes, we have research centers in Europe, not in France, but we will ask our colleagues what their openings are and transfer your CV. Do we have any other questions?
I think Miltiadis has raised his hand to ask a question.
Yes, hello.
Ah, hello.
I actually have 2 questions to ask, and they are more general questions and concern the policy of the company generally. The first one concerns the policy of the company towards recycling electronics, because I've seen you have many facilities in France, but they are mainly focused on development of algorithms, mathematics, generally the non-material part of the development. So I would like to know if you are planning to, if there are any plans from the company to really invest also on this part of the sustainability and recycling. That's question number one. And I have a second question that you said concerning rising up in the hierarchy of the company. What is the policy behind that? And I've noticed in your presentation that you say we value achievement. So is the growth based on achievement, or is based on years working in the company and dedication? So thank you.
Okay, thank you. On the first question, I cannot comment myself. I don't know if Veronica, you know of anything, but no, I don't know any projects that you mentioned, so I will not comment on that. It is not my area of expertise. For question number two, yes, absolutely, you're exactly right. Our progression in the company is based absolutely on performance and achievement. And if you're a great achiever in Huawei, you can move up the scales quite quickly, and you'll get the rewards of hard work and achievements very quickly in the company. We do not work, we're not based on seniority like automatic progression. That is not how we work. We have a very important policy, and we focus on the goals and the contributions of each employee. We have 1 or 2 annual performance review. We give great coaching to our employees so that they perform well, to give them all the opportunities they can have to grow in a company. So yeah, we will of course focus and give more opportunities to the ones that contribute the most in terms of patents and publications and breakthroughs and achieving some of our projects.
Okay, it's clear. Thank you.
Emiliano, you're asking, oh, sorry, I'm skipping questions, but you're asking, Emiliano, if the topic that you're interested in is not listed. Is it better to us by email first, or do it in the cover letter? I think you can send us a cover letter in an email. That would be great, with all the details and motivation. And if you're talking about the postdoc opportunities, especially, I think the more you explain in the cover letter, and the more you show how motivated you are by the topic, the better. And we'll see if we'll transfer your interest in your letter, and we'll see if it can fit one of the opportunities we have, or maybe you can create that opportunity for yourself if you really explain why you're interested and what is the opportunity for Huawei and science. You're welcome. Elahe, you are asking the average salary of a research engineer position as a fresh PhD. Unfortunately, as you might understand, this is confidential information that we cannot share. Just be sure that we have a competitive base salary compared to the market, and that we have a very interesting bonus and benefit scheme. Also based very much, the salary policy is also based very much on contribution and achievements. So our bonus policy is quite generous to those with great results. Does anyone...
Are there any other questions? It's all right for everybody? Okay. No questions? Are you sure? Don't hesitate. It's a good moment to ask a question.
Yeah, if you're interested, again, what we wanted to talk about today is the opportunities for postdoc positions, the new careers that you can have after your PhD, and give you also a little teasing about our next competition. But if you have any other question, you can use the email address that the friends R&D talent at huawei.com. We'll be happy to answer your questions, receive your CVs, get CVs from your friends. If you're interested also for us to send your CV to other research centers in Europe, let us know in the email that we can forward the CV information, because of course we care about your private information. Personal data is important for us, so let us know that it's okay for you to transfer. And Joshua, you're asking when you can send your CV. Some of us are in the third year. No, you can send it right away. We believe you will achieve your PhD. You will succeed in it. So of course you can already send your CV now. Explain your research topic, your PhD research topic, and even if it's early, we're only at the beginning of the year. Some positions we already know that we'll only have to fill at the end of the year. So it's never too early.
And I remind that you can contact the PhD Career Center to have some advices about your CV and your cover letter if you want. We can do it. Are there any other questions? Veronica, do you want to?
I think we can conclude. Thank you everyone for joining this presentation, and thank you very much, Sophie. It was a very detailed and very nice presentation. I think it gave a lot of new ideas and inspired all of us. And thank you very much, Madame Boone, for all the efforts that the PhD Career Center at University of Grenoble is doing. That's really great to see how you're bringing the knowledge from the industry research into the university. We would like to collaborate more. We would be glad to host you and your students at the offices and the research centers. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always write to the email address, friendsrdtalents@huawei.com. And I think Mrs. Boone will share the presentation slides with all of you, because I saw that some students have requested. So she already has it and will be sending it to you.
I will send tomorrow an email with the slides and with a short questionnaire to have your feedback. It's important for the PhD Career Center to have your opinion and to know if you have advices to improve our services. So I will send the both in the same email tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Marie and Veronica. And
thank you, Sophie, for all this information. I think it will be very useful for the PhD students. It's very great for you to be with us today.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Van Lei, for joining us. Very late your time, and thanks everyone. Have a good evening, and thank you, Mrs. Boone, for organizing this.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice evening.